If you think 3 dimensions are hard to visualize, imagine trying to see 784 dimensions at the same time. It sounds like a mathematical nightmare. But today, we are going to do exactly that. We are going to take a massive, hyperdimensional dataset and compress it down into a stunning, interactive 3-dimensional chart that you can rotate, explore, and analyze right on your screen. To do this, we will unravel the famous MNIST dataset, transforming 28 by 28 pixel images of handwritten digits into simple coordinates, using standardization and principal component analysis. Finally, we will write a live Python walkthrough using Plotly Express to render our interactive 3-dimensional space, revealing exactly how a machine views the human world. Let us start by looking at our 784-dimensional monster. When you look at a handwritten digit from the MNIST dataset, it looks like a simple grayscale image. But mathematically, it is a 2-dimensional grid of 28 by 28 pixels. Each pixel has an intensity value between 0 and 255. To feed this image into traditional machine learning algorithms, we have to flatten that grid into a single, 1-dimensional vector. 28 multiplied by 28 gives us exactly 784 individual features. This means each image is now a single data point floating in a 784-dimensional space. This is where we run into the curse of dimensionality. In a space this massive, data points become incredibly sparse and isolated in a giant hyperdimensional cube. Distances between points lose their meaning, making it nearly impossible for algorithms to find clusters. But we can solve this by reducing those dimensions, preserving the essential structure while throwing away the noise. Before we can run any dimensionality reduction, we must apply a mandatory preprocessing shield. PCA is incredibly sensitive to the scale of the features because it identifies directions of maximum variance. In the MNIST dataset, the pixels at the very edges are almost always 0, meaning they have 0 variance. But the active pixels in the center have massive variations in intensity. If we do not scale these features, the unscaled, high-intensity pixels will completely dominate the calculation, throwing off our principal components. To fix this, we use the StandardScaler from Scikit-Learn to center our data at a mean of 0 and scale it to unit variance. But here is a critical trap: you must fit the scaler strictly on your training set and only transform your test set. If you fit on the entire dataset, you bleed information from your test set into your training process, committing the ultimate sin of data leakage. With our scaled data ready, we can now code the 3-dimensional projection. We import PCA from Scikit-Learn and initialize it by setting the number of components to exactly 3. Why 3? Because 3 is the maximum number of dimensions our human brains can physically visualize in a chart. The PCA algorithm then calculates 3 orthogonal eigenvectors, our principal components, which capture the maximum remaining variance of our original 784 dimensions. When we call the fit-transform method, the algorithm projects our massive matrix down to just 3 coordinates per image. But how do we know if these 3 components are actually representative? To check this, we print out the explained variance ratio. This tells us the exact percentage of the original 784 dimensional information that our 3 components managed to retain. Now, we are ready to plot our coordinates using Plotly Express. We take our newly projected 3-dimensional coordinates and combine them with our target digit labels into a pandas data frame. Then we write our scatter 3D function. A key trick here is to convert our target labels into string data types before plotting. If we keep them as integers, Plotly treats them as a continuous gradient. But by converting them to strings, Plotly assigns highly contrasting, discrete colors to each of the 10-digit classes. When we render the plot in real time, the magic happens. You can hover over any individual data point to see its metadata, displaying the true label dynamically. But the real power of this visualization comes when we start rotating the three-dimensional model to perform cluster analysis. As we spin the chart, you will notice distinct, colorful galaxies of points forming in space. First, look at how the 0 cluster and the 7 cluster are positioned on completely opposite sides of the universe. This makes total sense because zeros are purely circular, while 7s are highly angular geometries. But then, look at how the 3, 5, and 8 clusters are huddled closely together. They share curved upper loops, making them look highly similar to the algorithm. Even more fascinating is the heavy overlap between the 4 and the 9 clusters. Both share long vertical lines and top loops, explaining exactly why even advanced models occasionally struggle to differentiate between them. Look at how those 4s and 9s blend into each other. What custom feature would you engineer to help a machine learning model separate these two classes? Drop your ideas in the comments right now. Ultimately, dimensionality reduction is not just a clever math trick to speed up your model training times. It is a portal that lets us see how machines organize the complexity of our human world. If this three-dimensional rotation gave you an aha moment, hit the like button.